Hi everyone. So today is another quick video and it's lettering this time. What I want to show you is how to easily blend your letters. Now it may be that you've got some of the pens like my ones, and because they're water based they're not too difficult to blend because they're all the same inks. But what if you have some that are different types of inks? Maybe you have one pen that's water based and another pen that's an alcohol ink, but you still want to try and get that nice gradual blend between the two. So I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that might help you achieve that, whatever pens you're using. Okay, so stick my glasses on because I can't see anything. So what I'm going to do first of all is show you how to blend easily between two colours that you normally wouldn't mix easily. So we've got here yellow and blue. Now these are all my pens, so you'll find them if you search Lou Collins brush lettering on Create and Craft. They are exclusive to Create and Craft. And if I just show you here, so if I write a B, for example, say we're going to write the word B, so press down, you see the nib on these is lovely. So there I've got my B. Now let me see if I want to now add some blue to this. Now of course a blue is difficult. If I come straight in with the blue, I have my first option, which is to go down with the darker colour, do some dashed lines, and then sometimes you can come in with your lighter colour back over the top and drag that ink down. Okay, now for this I'd advise having a scrap piece of paper by your side. You're just going to do little dashes. So if I take this scrap piece of paper here, and what you're trying to do is just clean off, you've got some blue ink on there, so clean off any fibres from the paper and some of the blue ink. So as you drag it down, it blends out from one colour to another. Absolutely lovely. There we go. And then what I do is I kind of try to visualize having a line where the blend is. So for me that's in this middle section. So all of the top is blue, all of the bottom will be yellow, and the mid section here is that green where it's blending. So that green I come across, and some of that blue is also going to catch on the very tip of this as well. So I'm just going to add a little bit to the tip of the blue there, or the B rather, not the blue, B blue, and then do exactly the same. Don't forget to do it down your thin lines as well, not just the large areas, but be very delicate. So you're just doing tiny little strokes with this, making sure you're picking up a little bit of the blue colour, so you're overlapping, going from the blue onto the yellow, tiny little strokes, and then continue down the letter a little bit. When you've got a large area like this, you could afford to come down a little bit more. There we go, and just blend that colour out. So there's one way of doing it. So now let's take another colour. Let's go Christmassy. Let's say we're doing red and green. Again, very different colours. So let's take, so the next letter in the word blend would be an L. So if I do just a simple L, there we go. And if I want the top of that to be red, so I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to start in the top quarter this time rather than a third, top quarter. Now bear in mind, of course, red and green together can sometimes make brown, so just be wary of that. So rather than doing strokes this time, because these are very different colours, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do dots. So do lots of tiny little dots first of all that are really close together, so you can barely see any green between them. And then as you work your way down, you can space those dots out a little more as you go along, and try to make them so that they're not neat and they're not in order, so they're not perfectly in line, they're fairly spaced out dots. So there we go, and then gradually end up so that you have no dots there, and then the same again on the thin. There we go, so gradually space out so there's barely any dots there. So you can see there we've gone again from red to green. So we've got there the blue to the yellow and the red to the green. Let's do, oh, I've still got some colour on here, so just take that colour. Obviously I've been blending with this one before, So take that colour off. Now as I'm brushing the colour off of the nib, I'm not brushing upwards, I'm not brushing this way, I'm not ruffling those fibres up, I'm brushing them towards the nib, okay, or running the paper towards them, so pulling it backwards, I suppose, to clean it. So that cleans any excess ink off there. So I'm going to do my favourite letter, okay, make sure you can see this. There's an F. Oh, I love this letter, just something that flows beautifully about it. And let's bring in a pink, bright hot pink, okay, so now a solid pink along the top third of the letter. There we go. Of course the yellow is going to mix a little. There we go. And then bring in your yellow pen. Now as you can see here, that yellow has mixed with the pink just a little bit, and it's made it more of an orangey pink, almost almost an orange, almost a very dark peachy colour. If you really want to avoid that, there's another technique I'll just show you in a moment. There we go. So I've just blended that nicely from one to the other. Okay, let's just clean off that pen again. Let's start again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the F. I'm going to miss out that top section, so I'm going to do the bottom here, and then imagine I've got my tail here as well. Then that will also come that way a little bit, and I'm going to do the top of the F here. Now this is something you might want to sketch out in pencil first, so you get more of a true colour of the pink there. So then bring that pink down. If you sketch that F out first and then add the colour on top, it makes it a lot easier. Just bringing that pink down as well, and then again we can go in with our yellow exactly the same way, but of course now we're actually keeping that colour yellow much stronger than it was before. Okay, don't use paper that's too thin for this either, because you will find you'll rough the paper up, and we don't want that. We want a nice smooth look, and we don't want to damage our pens either. So come up into the tail, come down into this tail, and just continue down. There we go. And that's blended it again, but this time of course at the top that has kept that brighter pink. So I hope that's helped some of you who want to blend your pens with different colours, different types of ink as well. It doesn't matter too much what the type of ink is, you will find these techniques, particularly the dots, will work. Can you just see my son's head there? Can I have a wave? I think he thought he was avoiding the camera, but he totally wasn't. So if you use the dots, especially on two inks that don't match, so alcohol and water for example, you're not actually blending there, you're laying the colour over and almost doing half tones, so absolutely that won't ruin your pens whatsoever, so you can do that. So drop any questions down for me, and otherwise I'll see you again in a few days with another tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.